Is this what you wanted?
Damn! Them two getting it in over there.
We got a problem. 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 Yeah, that's probably you. Yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem. Yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem.
What's poppin', people? Cobra Star Green back with you guys in the building. Your first time finding our channel, you love spoiler reviews, love movie reviews, love ending explains, everything like that. Surrounding movies, you guys make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Also like the video. Yes, finally, yes, we're doing a spoiler review for the new Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I think I got it right. I think I said it right.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi and then the Legend of the Ten Rings. So we'll be doing a full, you guys see above my head, it says spoiler review. So you guys have already been warned. We're dropping full on spoilers. So let's just get right into this. Now, I'm going to say off the bat, man, the Chinese representation you guys see in this film, holy crap. And you were saying this. You were like, you know how it's like a hidden world with like Wakanda? Well,
yeah.
Now we're getting the hidden world with the Chinese too.
Yeah.
Like, holy, I think that's some of the best parts in the film.
Their own little village with magical creatures that are
Yes.
very particular. Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Like,
I was saying that the universe expanded with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Then the Earth expanded more with Wakanda. And now it's expanding even more. So now just not
All
only the
these-
universe feels big, the Earth feels big.
It's funny because all these like goddamn hidden places now. Next thing I want to talk about, we could not get into this in our spoiler review. I mean, into our regular review at all, but we're getting into it now. How did you feel about Fang Foom? I think that's how the evil dragon you guys see toward the end of the film.
It was kind of like Godzilla, where it was like, I don't really know. It's just a magical monster.
Yeah.
I
feel like he was just kind of like thrown in there. Like I don't know. They could have done without him in the film.
It was smart that it was smart enough to fool the Mandarin.
Yeah,
because that's what was fooling the Mandarin was that beast. But,
my thing was like, why not have this whole entire movie just focus on the Mandarin and Sean, right? They had to throw in. They could have thrown that damn dragon in the second movie. And then aside from that, boy, that third act felt like Godzilla though, with those two dragons going at it.
It kind of did. I'm like 50-50. I'm kind of with you on it. Mm-hmm. But on one hand, like they kind of did focus on like the back and forth between father and son and their whole family dynamic, bringing back their mother and his wife. Mm-hmm. And the magical beast is just like kind of a obstacle, basically, something that puts a barrier between their family and manipulates them.
But I thought they could have held him off for the second movie, though.
Yeah,
they could have had him as like the main.
I do wish there was probably another way, like without having the big CGI fest, monster fest, which sometimes works in certain movies, and other movies is just like it's too much shit going on.
To me, it just felt like it was just so thrown in there.
Yeah,
like,
too much going on.
We gotta throw this in there somewhere. But I was like, y'all could have definitely saved this for like a second film or something. You could have him as the main antagonist in the second movie. Now let's talk about something real quick. The kung fu you guys see in the film, the action, the cinematography, the martial arts. Like I said, man, we got to give a big rest in peace. And I don't want to get this man's name wrong. But I got to send my condolences, a big rest in peace for Brad. I think his name was Brad Allen. He did this the pretty much the fighting choreography on this film, and he's done other films also. But just to see what his work was in this film, and it kind of reminds you of Kingsman, the Kingsman series. It's kind of like the same exact kind of fighting style here. But I got to give my condolences, a big rest in peace to him, man. Because I'm telling you, when you guys see the film, or if you guys have already seen it, his work in this film, especially that bus scene, some of the best in the MCU by far, easily.
I'd say objectively, the fight choreograph is the best in the MCU.
I think so too.
When I think of fights in the MCU, I more so focus on which characters are fighting and why, and the dynamics between them and their powers. So I don't always think of like the technicalities of how it's filmed and what fight maneuvers and does it look believable enough. So I'd say in the midst of all the fights, the bus fight is like top 10 MCU
Yes.
easy. Yeah, and then like the Mandarin versus Shang-Chi is top 10 easy.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, in terms
Like,
of actual fight qualities.
And y'all think we capping when we talk about these damn fights. I'm about to show y'all a clip right now of the bus fight. It was an exclusive clip that they just dropped. So let's take a look at this right now. Yeah, like if you guys seen that clip, bro, dude's taking off his jacket and putting it back on while fighting. Some of the best in the MCU by far, and it's not even close. Yeah, the action. Oh my god. Even the story. You know, this story right here. Especially with Sean and his father and their relationship, and it takes more of like an emotional turn at the same time. How it gets all sad because you understand, you see what the Mandarin's actually going through, because he's like, look, I hear my wife behind this wall. You know, so we get that emotional side there, and he's like, look, I'm not crazy. You know what I'm saying? But man, I would have to say, let me ask you, when it comes to like stories, where do you rank this, like the MCU story as an MCU, like a good old story?
Well, it's one of the best origin stories. I have kind of a bias with origin stories, because sometimes origin story, it feels like you're going through a formula where it's like, yeah, let's move on. And It feels a little slow at times, but it's necessary slowness.
Yeah.
So sometimes that impacts my enjoyment, but I feel like this, like, for an origin story especially, breezed on through. Like, here's what you need to know, here's why. There's a couple slow moments of exposition, but overall, it kind of moved forward. Stories. Probably top 7, probably top 8, something like that. Pretty standard. Like, I'm not gonna claim that this is an amazing story, like, you know, mind-blowing story, twists and turns. Like, it's pretty standard, but like it's solid, it's well executed.
Next thing we'll talk about is the director of the film. Name is Dustin Crenton. I think that's how you say his name. Now, he's not done anything big. Like, it's crazy because we watched like the Eternals too. The lady that the girl is doing it, she hasn't done anything big either, you know. So it's crazy to see that Marvel is giving like these, like a bunch of like people that are like not really known that well, like these big budgets, and be like, yo, go have fun with this, you know. And Eternals looks great too, especially for me not knowing anything about the damn film and what's going on. But he has done a couple of films. The biggest film he's done, except for this movie right here, has been Just Mercy, and you know that was with Jamie Foxx. And that was with Michael B. Jordan. And that movie was phenomenal. So just to see that he was going to be taking control of Shang-Chi, I was like, okay, I'm on board for this. And his direction, how he uses the visuals and everything, I think he did a great job with this film. How do you think he did as a director in this film?
I think he did well with all the fight choreograph, obviously. All the visuals. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I can critique him too strongly on. I don't think there's anything off top that I'm like
Me neither. Yeah,
too nitpicky about. Maybe some moments where like some of the humor didn't land as well. Yeah. But I think that's typical with Marvel movies. Sometimes if a joke doesn't land in a Marvel movie, it's really corny.
The things about Marvel, they're gonna throw in their little jokes, man. They're gonna try to get them jokes off. Now, with saying that, how did you think the humor was in the film? Like the comedy, just overall.
It's hit or miss.
Very hit or miss.
I feel like I was talking to some people before this movie came out that had already watched it or I had listened to reviews. They're like, it's one of the funniest Marvel movies too, and I'm like, nah, you're capping.
Yeah, no.
Like there's some really charming moments. There's some really funny moments, but there's a lot of jokes that just don't land. It's not like a groan, but you're kind of like,
but the thing is, it's like they keep it going till you gotta laugh at some point. Especially with Katie, man. Katie, throughout the whole entire film, she is the comedy relief in the film, right? And I swear, throughout the entire film, if you don't laugh at her jokes in the beginning, boy, she gonna keep trying. She gonna keep it going until you gotta laugh at one of them, you know.
Well, the best element of their dynamic was when they bounced off each other. Like that was
They
when
did
it was
really
the
well
funniest.
bouncing off each other,
Especially
yes.
when they were just valet people, when they were just ordinary day stuff, and then
Yeah.
the bus a little bit.
That bus scene was so good, man.
well,
Especially
yeah.
the action in the bus scene. Like the fighting in the bus scene was so good.
And then like
That's why I just showed you guys earlier.
when they're just they're just like, yeah, we should get some rest, and it's like they're partying, and they're
Yes.
doing karaoke,
Like, and
ordinary day stuff that you can relate with too.
Yes, it like relatable and it feels real. You
Yeah,
know,
it does feel real.
It doesn't feel like, oh man, this wouldn't be happening. No, like that is like if the MC was to somehow be real, I could definitely see them doing what they're doing. You know?
Yeah, they had been best friends for 10 years, and you believe that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Next thing to talk about is the pacing of the film. The film is about 2 hours and 12 minutes, right? If you're gonna stay to the end because you're gonna watch the two post credit scenes. You said the film had a lot of pacing issues.
Yeah, well, on a personal preference level, I think some of the flashback moments, it felt like disorganized to me, where I was like, you could have added this in more towards the beginning.
Because I think in the beginning, it's like 5 minutes of just flashbacks, right? Just
there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, you could have added this way in the beginning, and I feel like I could have flowed a little bit better.
The only like counter to that I have is that the flashback scene was very relevant to what was happening in in that scene.
Like,
you know,
I think it's like, that's why I say I think it's just a preference for me, where it's just like, I get what you're saying, where I'm just like, but like in that moment, it's just like, oh,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's kind of like when it's gonna be a weird comparison, but think of like a Family Guy joke or something, like a cutaway where it's like, this is this, even if it's related.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like you're like stopping the story, and it's like, remember this, and then it's like, but I want to get back to the present story, but like nice information, cool aspects. Feel like you should have told me this earlier.
Did you feel like the movie was too long? Or I think it was just right. I think it was just right.
I
think it knew when to get out. You know, like when to leave.
Yeah. I think
Like it had to fully tell the story.
Honestly, I think 90% of their Marvel movies should be this long.
Yeah, because some of them are a little bit shorter.
Yeah,
and then you got
some of them are a little bit
3 hours.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit too short, and some of them are a little bit too long. I think Endgame is a little bit too long.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
I get why it's that long. It's a different argument, but
Yeah.
like, I'm not mad at it. But I was like, when I think of Endgame, I think of some pacing issues where I'm like, you could have cut some of this, a little bit of this, and made it feel more.
Now let's talk about the suspense in the film. Were we on the edge of our seats towards the ending of the film? Did we care to see how the movie ended? You know,
I cared to see how
it ended.
Some of it ended, but like I wasn't on the edge of my seat. I think that's the problem with Marvel movies, or just superhero movies in general, as very rarely do I ever feel like real intense like emotions of like, man, like the protagonist could die here or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. Because I mean, like, it's a spoiler review, man. The Mandarin dies, and y'all know Sean gets the 10 rings, right? Which we all knew was coming.
With the Suicide Squad, for example,
I
did feel like anyone could die. Even Harley Quinn at a certain point, even though like most people kind of know, and in the back of your head you kind of know she's gonna live. But I honestly thought they really could just kill her if they wanted to. Yeah. Like it just put me in that mindset of like anyone really could die. But I never really feel like that anymore with a lot of superhero movies.
Nah,
even stuff like Endgame.
Yeah, you know they gotta keep him around.
What was I gonna say? Oh, Mandarin. I don't like that they killed Mandarin.
Let's talk about that. Let's stay on that for a second. Because you say that he is your top 3 villain in Marvel.
Top 3
right?
villain, yeah.
That means it's Thanos, Killmonger, and then him.
And then Mandarin. I think it was going to be Zemo at top 3, but I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier underutilized Zemo's potential.
Yeah, and they kind of made him like
he's kind of a joke.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Joke.
It was funny. I still liked him, but they underutilized his full potential.
I'm like Zemo is
he should have been the main villain of the show. I think.
Yeah, instead of those goddamn flag smashers. What the hell they
anyway,
were.
point is,
Mandarin getting killed off. You know. I don't know. I liked his character, but to me, I was like, what more can you do with him? You know?
Okay.
I'm just like, I think everything he needed to do, especially we got his backstory also, everything we need to do with him, they completely said it in this film right here. So I think, I personally, I think they're fine with killing him off.
Here's my thing. Anything that Xialing if his sister, I think I said the name right. I'm not sure if I did, but point
We'll
is,
get on her in just a second.
anything that she's gonna do with the 10 rings in the future easily could have been what Mandarin's doing, and she could have just gone with running the organizations or whatever else. Honestly, it feels like a waste of a like really cool character. It feels like a waste of like the dynamics. You know the dynamics between a character that are like strongly connected with one another, like through like their past. Joker and Batman. I don't know, like Captain America and Red Skull, and it's just like feels like there could be more to their relationship and their dynamics in the future.
So you could say the same thing about Killmonger in Black Panther.
Yeah, this one I didn't like that they killed Killmonger either.
Okay.
The only thing
I ain't like that one.
The only thing that made Killmonger's death bearable was his last words, because his last words are like really impactful. But other than that, I didn't like that they killed Killmonger either. What a waste.
Yeah, they could do so much with Killmonger.
They could do so much with these characters in the future.
I don't know. I was just sitting there watching the film, and like I said, they're literally the first 5 minutes and stuff like that. They're like completely showing his backstory and showing what he's been doing, and it's like, I from what I've seen, ain't no much to show here. You know, that's just to me.
Well,
I think they're done
I'm
here.
thinking of it this way too.
Go ahead.
The guy's obsessed with bringing back his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
that could be
that can be an overarching goal, and whatever other future stories that he's involved with, it could have been like, well, here's a means to an end to achieve my goal, and I have to do this and this. Like it could be like the Mr. Freeze thing, where it's like, I got to bring back my wife, or I got to like, he's got a goal in mind, and there's a very specific reason, a very sympathetic reason of why, but like, you know, like he has to do evil means or something, and Shang-Chi has to stop him in future.
I get what you're saying.
It just feels like a waste of potential, especially with the actor. He's so good in the role.
He was so good.
It's such a waste, and he's
so
such
good.
a menacing presence. Like he's got such a like aura around him. He's so powerful. He's ruthless. He does not hold back one bit. It never feels like, even with his own son, it never feels like he won't just straight off kill you.
Him. Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're in his way. You're done.
Like we're gonna run through these next things really quickly. How'd you like Trevor in the film? Because he was like the little surprise cameo, but people knew that he was gonna be in the film.
I liked him mostly, but it did feel at moments where, just like Katie, it kind of took. It was a little too. It was a little too goofy at moments.
I like Trevor more than I like Katie, especially with the jokes. Like his jokes were landing a lot more.
I feel like pretty much the same.
Okay.
I feel like he's very much more a joke character. So
I
did like him being in the movie, but I will admit sometimes it was like,
I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like you should have gone away by now.
I'm not gonna lie. He was in the movie a lot longer than I thought he was gonna be in there.
I did too.
I thought we were gonna see him in the prison and that was it.
Yeah.
No, he tags along for a little bit.
I forget the character. Oh, it's Morris, the little character, the little furry thing with no face. Yeah. I like stuff like that. That was cool.
I want them to further explore those.
I want to see more of their
I don't think they're going to.
Creatures.
You have to have a story behind that.
I know.
So they're not going. Those are number side plots.
It would be so cool to see more of that.
Let's run through 2 more characters real quick. Sean, Katie. How'd you like their dynamic relationships?
Shang-Chi is a great character. I don't know where I'd put him in the midst of like all these characters, but like he's like a B tier character at the very least. Mm-hmm. Maybe A minus. Katie's a great side character, very fleshed out. I think she's got like she has like a mini story. Mm-hmm. About like her potential, which sometimes it feels like side characters don't even have that. So.
I will say like how she became like, if you guys seen the promo or whatever, because she becomes like an archer, right?
She did a Hawkeye.
Yeah, she's Hawkeye pretty much, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe it was me, but I'm like, dude, like, first of all, she don't even know what the hell is even going on. Then she's able to kill a goddamn dragon, like, I'm like, I don't know, like. That's just me.
Yeah, it was just suspend disbelief, I think. But yeah.
I'm like, I know they gotta rush into it. They gotta. This is where a character's gonna be going.
She was a nice side character. I did not mind her, especially as someone who's not a big fan of Aquafina.
You know who she reminds me of? And Marvel has this in every freaking movie. She reminds me of, what was the dude from Ant-Man that always be telling the stories?
Luis.
She reminds me of him a little bit.
Luis is so much better.
I know he's better,
Luis is funny, dude. He's so funny.
He's the same way, but they're both kind of the same character.
Luis has no misses, bro. Like every joke Luis ever,
but no,
he
but
lands.
I'm saying like as a character, they're pretty much the same as that character, pretty much.
Kind of, not really.
I mean,
there's some
her
very
growth is a
distinct
little bit more.
differences.
Her growth is a little bit more than his.
Yeah, I would say the growth
like
is a little bit.
she becomes a full-on goddamn archer. Like I said, they maybe spend 5 seconds showing how she's in the range, and the next thing you know, she's a freaking god at this.
I still can't believe in Endgame his van was an important part of the story for us for a minor moment.
Yes.
I'm just like, Thanos is destroying Luis's van. I love Luis, dude. He's great.
Now we're gonna talk about we'll get into post-credit scenes just really quickly. But yeah, we'll talk about her in a little bit. But first post-credit scene, y'all know if y'all seen the movie, y'all know what it is. It's pretty much Wong, and I liked Wong in the film. We'll talk about Abomination in just a second too. But I liked Wong a lot. For the time we saw Wong, he makes me like his character a lot more now. But Wong ends up, he's like, yo, this is Beacon going on with this. And then Captain Marvel, how do you feel about Captain Marvel and Mark Ruffalo being in the cast? So there's still
I like Captain Marvel's character a little bit more after that credit scene. Not that she did anything like spectacular, but like I was just like, oh, that was kind of likable, charming. Yeah. Like I want a little bit more of that because I don't want to hate this character.
She was so off.
I never really found her interesting. At the best, I would be like, yeah, she's just kind of bland. So hopefully we get more of that in future stuff. That she's got more personality, more likability. Mark Ruffalo is fine. Bruce Banner's fine. He did his thing.
Yeah. So next
Wong is great.
Let's talk about the second post-credit scene, which deals with Sean's sister taking over the 10 Rings. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm more interested to see where that goes.
Okay.
Just like I said earlier,
I don't know what's gonna be good or bad though.
I don't know what they're gonna go for. I don't know what the ideal scenario is, if there'll be like a terrorist group, more like an anti-hero terrorist group. I'm interested to see where that goes. Because I have no clue. I have no clue.
I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad.
All I know is it's probably gonna be a Shang-Chi like terrorist villain kind of group. Yeah.
So let's talk about it, man. I gotta say, bro, it was so clickbaity. Abomination. He's very click. He's only. Abomination's only goal in this film is to get people butts in those seats. That's pretty much him. He's in the tournament, and his fight with Wong is
literally
so cool.
in the film and just marketing wise.
Yeah, you used to get a close-up shot of him. He goes with Wong in that blood portal, and you don't ever see him again, y'all. They don't even mention him again.
Well, if you'll notice, the portal leads to the raft. So Wong has been taking him outside of the raft.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
So he's in the raft.
Which will be a Thunderbolt.
I think it's implied in the film. I don't remember. I have to watch it again, but I think it's implied that Wong and Abomination are like
good friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're friends, and they're what's the term? They're cheating kind of to make money.
Yeah.
Because he was telling him, he's like, you need to hold back on that punch or whatever next time. Yeah. So yeah, that's a fun little thing to me. Like even though like I kind of wanted more, but it was nice to see Abomination and Wong are friends kind of.
That's why I kind of had my problems. I'm like, bro, when we last saw Abomination, he was no type of jokes, bro. Mm-hmm. Now we see him now, and he's like a little bit jokey, a little bit. Yo, my bad, I ain't mean to do all that,
But the next time we see Abomination, which is probably gonna be in the She-Hulk Disney Plus, I bet you Abomination's gonna tear shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope so at least.
Let's talk about one more thing. The audience that this is intended for, people that have seen previous Marvel films, how will they feel walking out of this movie? Will they have pure enjoyment? Will they not like it? Let's talk about this for a second. I think, especially if you're going off of last movie, Black Widow, the Loki series, WandaVision, I think you'll really come out this movie enjoying it. I gave this movie a 9 out of 10. My co-host gave it, what we gave it, 8 out of 10?
Like an 8 out of 10, yeah. Pretty much. Okay. 8 to 9.
As big Marvel fans, we enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So I think thoroughly you guys will most definitely enjoy this film. So I definitely think it hits the head on the intended audience.
I think the only way you could not enjoy this is if you're kind of just sick of Marvel stuff.
You
and
might be,
just,
you know,
like especially origin films where it's got that pattern, and you're just kind of like, I'm kind of moving on to something else. But like I can't really see that for a lot of audiences that still genuinely do enjoy these films. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that is our review for the new what is it, Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Spoiler review. Your first time finding our channel, you guys make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Also that video, it really does help. But with saying that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Peace.